this video, I will be going over how to access MyStatLab, also called MyLab Statistics. To register for MyStatLab, click on MyLab and Mastering on the left navigation ribbon. Then click Open MyLab and Mastering. If this button does not work, disable your pop-up blocker, or just try a different web browser. You must register for MyStatLab using the link inside this class, as it will connect your grades on MyStatLab to the gradebook on Canvas. After you accept the terms of service, you will have the option to create a Pearson account or log into your existing account if you already have one. If you have ever used a Pearson product before, such as MyMathLab or MyEconLab, you should already have one. If you are registering for the first time, make sure you create your account with an email address that you check regularly, preferably your HCC Hawkmail address. Next, you will be brought to the payment screen. If you purchased an access code from the bookstore, you can enter it in now. Or you can pay the publisher directly using a credit or debit card. Alternatively, you can access MyStatLab with a free temporary access for 2 weeks. But after that, you will have to either buy an access code from the bookstore or purchase access directly from the publisher. So let's click Go to My Courses. Okay, to start off, let me just show you a few quick things. There are several ways to access the textbook, the e-text that comes with this software. 3 of the ways are over here. You can click on Chapter Contents, which allows you to jump immediately to any particular section of the e-text. Click on Main Menu to go back. Or you can just click on e-text and it will just bring you to the entire e-text. Note that you will need Flash enabled in order for this to work. If this is not working on your computer or you don't have Flash, you can use an HTML ebook access instead. Okay, there is one more way to access small sections of the textbook inside the homework system. So let's go to the homework. To access the homework, just click on Homework. Here you'll see a list of homework assignments and their suggested due dates. Let me just start off by clicking on the Week 2 homework. You could jump to any homework question you like. Usually I would start at question number 1, but I think I'd like to start at question number 2 just to show you something. So question number 2 is a good example of a question that has some extra information for you to view. So if we click on this View the Table, it pulls up the information we need to answer the question. I'm not going to actually do this question for now, but if I were, I would just type the answers in these boxes, whatever they turn out to be. And then you can click when you're done, check answer, or you can just save your progress. Actually, you can just also go to the next question if you like by clicking on the next option here, or you can jump to any particular question this way as well. So let's go to question number 12. Question number 12 is not a large, but looks like about 10 numbers here. It's called a data set. It wants me to find the mean, median, and mode of this data set. And I know we haven't gone through the lessons yet, but I just want to demonstrate some of the features. Let's say I'm not quite sure how to find the mean, median, and mode. Well, one of the cool things about MyStatLab is there's this question help option. There's two tools here that directly help you answer this question. One of them is View an Example, where it pulls up a similar example. Notice the numbers are different. Here the first number was 13, where on this example the number's 11, and it just walks you through the 5 parts to actually answering these questions. When you're done and you understand what to do, you can go back to the question and answer it. However, let's say you really want help solving the question with these numbers. You can also use a Help Me Solve This feature, which walks you step by step how to solve that question that was originally given to you. However, notice the moment that I clicked Help Me Solve This, it marked the question wrong. That's okay. It just says that, okay, you've already attempted this question, and next time you attempt the question, it will give you slightly different numbers. All right. After you answer a question, make sure to click Check Answer and click Save when you're done when you're done with the session. It should automatically save, but it's better to be safe than sorry. There's also technology you can use here inside the question help. Actually, a few more things I want to mention before that. Here's the textbook option, that fourth method that I mentioned earlier. This brings you to the textbook, but just that one particular section on the topic on the question that's being asked. So it's bringing you specifically to what is the mean, what is the median, what is the mode in your textbook. And you can go to the next page or jump to any particular page using these arrow buttons. However, one of the problems of accessing the textbook this way is, let's say I wanted to go to page 45. I can't do that. I am physically unable to type numbers into this box, and I can't go back to earlier sections. So if you just want to read through the textbook, I recommend you use the e-text option or the chapter contents option or the HTML ebook option on the left. All right, going back to the question help, if you're not quite sure how to do something and you've viewed the examples and you watched the videos and you're still not quite sure, you can use the Ask My Instructor option, which sends me an email. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that it's really important that when you register for MyStatLab, you register using an email address you check frequently. The reason being is that if you use the Ask My Instructor option here, I will reply to your message, but it will go to whatever email address you use to register. So make sure that is an email address you check, and if it's not an email address you check or you typoed your email address, you can change it inside the settings for MyLab Statistics. One of the great things about using this question help, the Ask My Instructor option, as opposed to just emailing me a question straight up, is it actually sends me your question. So it's much easier for me to answer your homework questions if you use this Ask Your Instructor option. All right, going back to the technology, there's a piece of statistical software that comes with MyStatLab called StatCrunch, and it's very powerful and really pretty easy to use, just with drop-down options. So if you want to do some calculations, maybe add up some numbers, or find a mean, median, or mode, like this question's asking, you can type in numbers in these boxes here and do statistics with them or create graphs. Another way you can access StatCrunch, which is a little bit more useful, is here's a list of numbers. I don't want to retype all those numbers. If I click this Windows-looking icon here, I have an option to open it in Excel, copy it to the clipboard, or open it in StatCrunch. So I'll do that option instead. So it'll automatically put the data set into StatCrunch for me to analyze. The question's asking me to find the mean, median, and a mode, and there is in the supplemental videos for this course on the Canvas course page, there is tutorials, slower tutorials on how to actually calculate all these numbers. But I would just click on Stat, Summary Statistics. My data is arranged in a column, so I'll click on Columns. My variable is called Variable 1. I'll click on that. I want to find the mean. It's scroll down and I'll hold down Control to select multiple things. The median and the mode, and the options I pick appear on the right, and then I'll click Compute. And you see it just pops up the answers. So my mean is 14.36 if I round to 2 decimal places as the question asks. I could hit Enter or check Answer and it will bring me to the next part. My median was 15 and my mode was 10. It automatically saves your progress. You can jump to the next question now. You could work a similar question if you don't quite feel you understand it, or you could just save your progress and leave. And notice that once you've completed a homework question and got it right, it will automatically mark it correct. It also automatically marks it correct in Canvas. If I go back to my grades, and it doesn't always do it instantaneously, but it will eventually do it, you can see that now for week 2 homework, I have a score of 0.85. Basically, I got 1 out of 20 questions correct. So that concludes this part of, well, the whole orientation actually. If you have any questions throughout the semester, please contact me, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know each of you.